Welcome back to our channel, my dear friends and fellow longtime viewers. Today is a wonderfully crisp and beautiful day, absolutely perfect for pouring a hot cup of tea, settling into your favorite armchair, and diving deep into the latest twists from our beloved Port Charles. We have so much incredible drama to unpack together, so let us not waste another moment and jump right into the story. As a critic who has watched these families love, betray, and fight for survival over the decades, I must say that the upcoming episodes from May 4 to May 15 feel wonderfully reminiscent of the classic high-stakes storytelling we used to eagerly anticipate in the late 90s. There is a palpable sense of dread and excitement weaving through the town, and I find myself both thrilled and deeply concerned for the characters we have grown to view almost as our own children. The writers are pulling no punches this time, setting up a labyrinth of overlapping crises that will test the moral fabric of everyone involved. It is a brilliant return to form, blending psychological warfare with visceral, edge-of-your-seat danger, and I am here to analyze every single heartbreaking and shocking moment with you. Let us begin our discussion with the absolutely terrifying situation brewing on the dark, isolated grounds of Spoon Island. It breaks my heart to see Jocelyn falling right into the ruthless clutches of Cassius. For those of us who have watched Jocelyn grow from a fiery teenager into a strong young woman, it is agonizing to witness her inherit her mother's tragic knack for attracting lethal trouble. Cassius, who has been masquerading under the beloved, trusted face of Nathan, is proving to be one of the most toxic and manipulative villains we have seen in years. The prospect of Jocelyn becoming the newest prisoner of that Gothic estate is chilling. I find myself asking, how did she end up so vulnerable? The answer, sadly, lies in the misguided actions of someone she should have been able to trust implicitly. We must talk about Britt and the monumental, frankly unforgivable error in judgment she made. By revealing Jocelyn's highly classified intelligence bureau ties to Cassius, Britt has essentially painted a massive target on the poor girl's back. As someone who has always rooted for Britt to overcome her darker impulses and find redemption, I am profoundly disappointed in her sheer foolishness here. However, from a narrative standpoint, it is a brilliant catalyst for intense drama. Britt is going to receive news that leaves her completely stunned, and I am absolutely certain she will realize that Jocelyn's disappearance is entirely her fault. The guilt will be a crushing weight on her soul. Britt will undoubtedly do everything in her power to keep Jocelyn alive, but one has to wonder if her efforts will be enough, or if she will only make the situation more deadly by trying to play the hero. Meanwhile, the danger at Windermere is compounding by the minute. Ava and Sidwell are about to discover Pascal actively threatening Lucas. Now, Lucas has always represented the pure, trusting, moral center of his turbulent family, and it deeply worries me that he is residing in that house, completely oblivious to the mortal danger encroaching upon him. Ava, for all her flaws and calculating nature, does possess a fierce protective instinct when she is pushed, and seeing her navigate this threat alongside the incredibly dangerous Sidwell will be fascinating. I firmly believe Lucas might be the one to stumble upon Jocelyn's captivity and attempt to play the savior. But let us be realistic here. Lucas is far too innocent to outmaneuver a hardened, ruthless man like Cassius. If Lucas tries to rescue Jocelyn, he might very well end up signing his own death warrant. Moving across town to Carly's residence, we are treated to a scenario that is equal parts thrilling romantic farce and explosive thriller. Jack is going to catch Carly and Valentin in a highly scandalous, compromising bedroom moment. As a longtime viewer, I cannot help but chuckle and sigh simultaneously. Carly has a long, documented history of gravitating toward danger and making impulsive choices driven by passion rather than logic. When Carly boldly admits that Valentin is the new man in her life, Jack's reaction is going to be explosive. Jack is a man who demands absolute control and transparency, and realizing that Carly has been sheltering a known fugitive who also happens to be her revenge partner and secret lover will push him over the edge. The ensuing chaotic showdown between Carly, Valentine, and Jack in that house is going to be television gold. Yet Valentine is nothing if not a masterful escape artist. Despite the overwhelming chaos and Jack's furious attempts to apprehend him, Valentine will manage to slip through the net. This leads to a beautifully tragic and romantic subplot that I absolutely adore. Valentine is going to contact Nina, but his true destination is France. He intends to find Anna directly at her medical clinic. For those of us who understand the profound fractured history between Valentine and Anna, this is a deeply moving development. Anna is currently the tragic victim of Cullum's severe psychological manipulation, and Valentine knows that he might be the only person on this earth who can break through that brainwashing. He views Anna as his ultimate symbol of light, and his willingness to risk international capture just to help her see the truth is the kind of epic, sweeping romance that makes this show so legendary. Back in Port Charles, the fallout from Valentine's escape and Jocelyn's kidnapping will collide spectacularly. When Jocelyn vanishes without a trace, Carly is going to spiral into an erratic state of sheer panic. Knowing Carly's defensive mechanisms, I completely expect her to point the finger of blame directly at Jack. She will likely accuse him of causing the distraction that allowed Cassius to strike, or perhaps even suspect him of being involved. Carly is a mother lion, and when her cub is threatened, she lashes out at whoever is closest. This dynamic will severely complicate any lingering transactional alliance she had with Jack, turning them into bitter adversaries at the worst possible time. In the midst of this, we have the shadowy return of Ethan, who is lurking around town with vital intelligence meant for Sunny. Ethan's presence always brings a certain rogue charm to the screen, but he is keeping his true reasons for returning heavily guarded. When Ethan spots Rick spending time with Ava, his immediate distrust is perfectly justified. We all know Rick's long, sordid history of duplicity and manipulation. Ethan will likely refuse to trust Rick with any sensitive information, forcing him to bypass the usual channels to reach Sunny. Sunny himself is facing a monumental dilemma, and we are told he will resort to extreme actions. I have to wonder, will Sunny's extreme measures be directed at saving Jocelyn, or does Ethan's intelligence reveal an entirely new, devastating threat to the family empire? Sunny, at his most desperate, is always a terrifying force of nature. Amidst all this overwhelming darkness, violence, and betrayal, the writers have wisely provided us with a beacon of pure, heartwarming light. Brooklyn and Chase are seriously discussing the possibility of adopting little Phoebe if no one steps forward to claim the child. This storyline brings tears to my eyes. Brooklyn has been suffering through a severe emotional breakdown over Isaiah being falsely accused and dragged through the mud. Seeing her channel that devastation into the beautiful, healing act of providing a loving home for an abandoned child is a testament to her character growth. Chase, with his innate goodness and unwavering support, is the perfect partner for her in this endeavor. It is these quiet, tender moments of humanity that balance the heavy suspense of the show, reminding us why we care so deeply for these people. Over at the hospital, the tension is of a completely different psychological nature. Liz is reaching out to Laura for help, and I suspect this heavily involves her ongoing treatment of Drew. Liz is a dedicated, persistent caregiver, and she is aggressively pushing Drew to utilize new methods of communication. Drew is trapped inside his own incapacitated body, desperate to break through his physical barriers. The agony he must feel, possessing world-shattering secrets but being utterly unable to voice them, is palpable. Liz's relentless push is exactly what he needs, but it inadvertently serves as a ticking time bomb for the person responsible for his condition. This brings me to the deeply disturbing, dark descent of Willow. My friends, I am continually shocked and horrified by the path the writers have chosen for this once angelic former teacher. Willow is the one who shot Drew, and she is actively drugging him to simulate a stroke to keep him silent. It is a chilling display of cold self-preservation, completely devoid of genuine remorse. Now, with Liz accelerating Drew's recovery, Willow's time is rapidly running out. In her desperation, she is hoping to use Jack to leverage Drew, still foolishly believing she can control the narrative. I find myself profoundly disappointed in the woman Willow has become, yet I cannot look away from the screen. Her transformation into a calculating villain is a masterclass in psychological horror, proving that even the purest facades can hide the darkest souls. As if Willow's actions were not twisted enough, we must examine the bizarre, ruthless behavior of Michael. Instead of confronting his wife about his suspicions, Michael is operating from a place of vindictive pain. He is actually orchestrating a sinister plot to push Willow and Chase closer together, actively trying to instigate an affair between them. Why? So he can gather or even fabricate concrete blackmail material against her. This is the dark Corinthos blood running through his veins, showing us that Michael has fully shed his vulnerable childhood innocence. He is willing to destroy his own marriage and use ruthless tactics to gain the upper hand. It is a tragic, toxic dynamic, and I am terrified to see the collateral damage when this explosive secret finally detonates.